Hey everybody, Simbasictus here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. Today, stopped at one of my local thrift stores on the way home from work, grabbed myself 3 new titles, and here they are. The first thing I picked up was Crybaby on VHS. Now I already have this on DVD, it is a fantastic movie. Simply wanted to get this for collecting purposes. I love the cover art, it looks so good, so much better than DVD. So just want to grab it for that. It is in pristine condition. Very few, there's no marks on it at all. This little corner's a little tiny bent, that's it, but you know, for the most part, it's in almost perfect condition. For $1, had to grab that. Then this is pretty cool. This here is Bill Cosby 49. Love Bill Cosby. I think his stand-up is great. You know, I love the Cosby Show. I'm a big fan of Bill. So definitely had to grab this. Best thing about it, only available on VHS. Never released in any other format. I guess this has something to do with Kodak. As you can see there, it's got the little Kodak logo all over this thing on every side. Probably, yeah. Even on the VHS tape. So, I have no idea. It says Kodak Video Programs, so I don't know, but I love Bill Cosby. It's one of his stand-ups. Again, only available on VHS. Definitely had to grab it. And then what I consider to be the greatest buy of today, a Street Sharks VHS tape. This is Street Sharks, The Gene Slammin' Begins. Now, if I've done my research correctly, this is the last of the Street Sharks VHS tapes I needed. Apparently, they only ever released 3 VHS tapes. This is the last one. So as far as everything Street Sharks they ever released, this is it. Great show. You know, it's pretty much just a complete ripoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I don't care. I used to grow up with this. Love the show. Had to get it. Super glad to finally complete the collection. I'm glad I now have everything that they ever released of Street Sharks. Very cool. For $1, it was a no-brainer. So that's what I bought today. So now it's what I watched. First thing I'm going to talk about are some soundtracks I listened to. First one I listened to was the soundtrack to The Producers. A fantastic movie and a fantastic soundtrack. It is, the music's wonderful. There's not a bad song on here. You're not going to skip through this at all. You're going to listen to every single track. It's also incredibly funny. The lyrics of these are brilliant. I'd recommend seeing the movie first before you listen to this, because you kind of have a better idea what's going on. But it's such a good soundtrack. I actually ended up listening to it twice. I listened to it on the way to work, and then I listened to it on the way home. It's so good. I had to listen to it twice. Fantastic soundtrack. Definitely one of my favorite soundtracks I own. It is great. Next one I listened to was the soundtrack to Death Proof. And it's pretty much what you'd expect. It's, you know, a Quentin Tarantino soundtrack, basically all like 60s and 70s like rock groups and stuff. And, you know, it is what it is. If that's the type of music you're into, you're going to like it. If you like the music you hear in pretty much every Quentin Tarantino movie, you're going to enjoy it. I like the music from the 60s and 70s. I'm not some huge fan of it, but I can definitely rock out to it. So I listened to the whole thing all the way through. Didn't skip over anything. Really good. Only downfall I'd say is there's a couple tracks in here that are just little clips from the movie. They're really low. I had to crank my CD player up in my car really loud just to hear what they were saying. So that was the only downfall I'd say of the whole thing. Besides that, it's great, and I would definitely recommend checking out the soundtrack to Death Proof. It's a good soundtrack. Again, you know, if you like music from the 60s and 70s, you're going to like it. If you have no interest in that music whatsoever, then I would definitely say don't listen to it. But if you like that type of music and you just just want to hear a good soundtrack to a good Quentin Tarantino movie, it's definitely something to check out. Then the last soundtrack I watched, or listened to, I should say, was the, if you guys remember yesterday, Lori, I guess Mullis or Mullis, sorry, again if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, she sent me a Grease VHS tape. It was the 20th anniversary, came with the VHS tape, also came with a script to the movie, but it also came with this, as they call it, let's see what they call it here. It is a exclusive Grease Mega Mix CD single. Now, I didn't know what was on this. I mentioned yesterday I had no idea what this was. It says right here, it says, with You're the One That I Want, Grease, Lighting, and Summer Nights. So I thought, okay, it's just going to be a CD with those 3 songs on it, and that's it. No, this is one 5-minute track of, as it says, a mega mix. It's those 3 songs kind of mixed together. It's something like you would hear, if you go to a high school dance, you'd hear the DJ playing. It's just, like I said, a 5-minute little mix of just those songs, you know, not necessarily techno we hear or anything like that, or all clubby, but you know, they're mixed together, and you know, between the songs they do it's like it's Grease lightning, 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 you know, stuff like that. It's really cheesy. You know, it's pretty cool to own, I guess, just as, you know, just for collecting purposes. But I mean, it's kind of dumb. It's it's not worth listening to ever again. If I want to listen to Grease, I'll put the actual Grease soundtrack in because it's a fantastic soundtrack. This, I have no interest in listening to this ever again, but for collecting purposes, very cool to own. Alright, so now that we got the soundtracks out of the way, let's move on to my Halloween Horror-thon movie of the night. And that was Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Now, I went into this expecting really good things because this got incredibly good reviews everywhere I saw this online. So, I really was expecting this to be great. I expected it to be, like the book. I'm thinking to myself, sort of like a live-action version of like the Disney cartoon or something like that. So I was expecting some really great stuff. I mean, look at that cover art. Just from that cover art alone, you think this is going to be great and spooky and, maybe a little cheesy and campy, but fun. I was kind of let down. I mean, I see why people like this. As far as like nostalgia is concerned, I can definitely see this being very nostalgic. It was a made-for-TV movie. If you grew up with it, you're gonna love it. I can see that. I understand, and I did enjoy it. It's just it strays a lot from the book. It's not anything really like the book at all. I mean, with the exception of the names and that's about it. The names are the same, and the fact that they're in Sleepy Hollow, and that's about it. Even the Headless Horseman, he's barely in this at all. So it was an enjoyable hour and a half, but not the greatest hour and a half. Like I said, I was kind of let down because I expected something more spooky and something a lot more fun. Even if it was going to be campy and cheesy, just something, I don't know, something more like I would expect, like from when I was a kid or something. I don't know. It's from 1980, so we were just getting into the 80s with this, so I guess I can't expect too much. I guess I kind of have to expect it has sort of like a bit of a 70s feel, and it kind of does. Again, it is campy. It's just not great. It really does feel like a made-for-TV movie, but but with nothing special to it. So I would say if you come across this, is it worth picking up? I mean, yeah, if you can get it for cheap, I'd say don't pay more than $1 for it. I'd say if you can get it for like $1, because it's only available on VHS. So if you can pick it up for $1 on VHS, yeah, I mean, what the heck? Or maybe if you grew up with it. Again, if you grew up with it and you're a huge fan of it, because I can see how you would be a big fan of this if you grew up watching this since you were a kid. Then, yeah, maybe pay a little bit more. But if you're new, you're just getting in this, you've never seen this before, you don't know anything about it, probably worth about $1. Features Jeff Goldblum, so that's always a plus. But his character, he plays Ichabod Crane. It's not Jeff. It's really not. It's another thing. It's really not Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. You see movies like The Fly or Jurassic Park or anything like that. He plays. He's Jeff Goldblum. It's Jeff Goldblum playing a Jeff Goldblum character, but not in this one. He has some of the mannerisms of Jeff Goldblum, but for the most part, he seems almost like a different actor, and that kind of bugs me too. Because when I see Jeff Goldblum, I want to see him being his cheesy, great Jeff Goldblum himself. So all in all, I did enjoy it. I'm glad I have it. I'll probably watch it again someday. But when it comes down to it, it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't quite what I expected it to be. Again, like I said, it did stray from the book. It really wasn't creepy. It was sort of just a story about a school teacher who likes a girl. I mean, that's another thing. That's basically it. It's Ichabod Crane likes, I can't remember her name. Is it Von Tassel or something like that? Wow. I've seen about a million versions of Legend of Sleepy Hollow. You think I'd remember her name. Anyway, so he likes her, obviously, like in the real story. And that's basically the whole premises of the movie. They do talk a little bit about like ghosts and the Headless Horseman and stuff, but they don't play that really dominant of a role. I mean, they try to. They constantly throw, oh, ghosts, spirits, the Headless Horseman. They constantly throw that stuff at you in the movie, but you never feel like it's a part of, like it is the movie. That's another thing that bugged me about it, because when you see Legend of Sleepy Hollow, you think Headless Horseman. You're like, it is the Headless Horseman story. But this, again, really wasn't. As much as they threw it at you, as much as they constantly kept bringing up spirits, and they constantly kept bringing up ghosts, and they constantly kept bringing up the Headless Horseman, you just felt it was a story about Ichabod Crane trying to win the heart of somebody. I mean, there's, again, I can't remember people's names, but in the story, there's a guy who likes the girl Ichabod Crane's sitting on. He's in it, and there's like this love triangle, and that's basically what this is. It's basically it's more or less like a love story where Ichabod Crane's in love with somebody and wants to be with her, and in the end he gets her, and that's basically it, with a little bit of ghostness to it, and that was the downfall. I wish they really would have played. I wish it was more spooky. I wish they really played up yeah, they would have not so much focused on Ichabod Crane trying to get with a girl and made it more, you know, about the Headless Horseman, about ghosts, about spirits, as opposed to just constantly talking about it but never really involving it in anything. So that was a downfall. But again, like I said, I did enjoy it. It was enjoyable, but probably only because it was... That's another thing. I probably only enjoyed it because it was a Legend of Sleepy Hollow. If it was like any other made-for-TV movie with any other different title that didn't follow sort of the story of Legend of Sleepy Hollow, I'd probably have no interest in this. But simply because it does sort of, you know, it takes place kind of in that story, I was like, well, you know, it's kind of enjoyable. So, again, I liked it. I didn't love it. I'd say if you're, you know, a big fan of this, sure, definitely get it. You know, obviously, you're a fan of it. But if you're just getting into it and you come across it for $1, yeah, pick it up, but don't pay any more than that. So, Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it was alright. So that's it for what I bought today. Got some great stuff from thrift store. Listened to some great soundtracks on Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It was alright. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought and what I watch tomorrow. See ya.